Hi everybody, welcome to episode 25 of the Fiberista Files. Today is Sunday, February 27th. I don't ever introduce myself. I know that a lot of other podcasters do. I'm Heather. I hope you know that by now. I'm sure I've said it at some point. That's all. I just can't do it every week, sorry. Alright, first order of business. My focus socks are done. Yay! And I bought sock blockers. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I am officially a knitter now. My socks are done. They are stripy and wonderful. They're not exactly the same size. I apparently, on the second sock, got ready for the cuff a little bit too early. But through the magic of blocking, they look almost the same. So we're just going to go with that. This is Wendy Johnson's stockinette socks with toe up with the gusset heel. That's in her book, Socks from the Toe Up. It's just one of her basic recipes, 66 stitches. I freaking love them. Let me just give you a close up because you're so beautiful. I mentioned, I think, 2 weeks ago that they do pool around the gusset, and I totally don't care about that. I think that's awesome. These sock blockers make my feet look huge, though. Anyway, so they're done. I wove in the ends last night specifically so that I could block this, so that they'd be ready for today's podcast. In fact, I probably could take them off the sock blockers, but they're kind of pretty, so I'll leave them on there. So that's done. It's been a busy week. I didn't get quite as much dyed up as I wanted to. I'm trying really hard to make that up today because I've been at the dye pot since probably 9 o'clock. It's 10 minutes of 4 and I haven't stopped yet. I still have more to do, but my back is killing me, so I'm going to take a break. My cupboards, my countertops are all, where I dye, they're all 2 inches below standard, and I'm 5'9", and a little bit of a remainder, so I'm literally just hunched over all the time, and it kills. So I'm taking a break, and I figured I'd podcast. One of the things I did get done today is one of the things I have wanted to do for a really long time, several months, in fact, and I just haven't had the combination of time and motivation to get it done. So I'm really glad to show you what it is. It's the new yarn base that I'm carrying. It's called Black Cherry Lace Yarn. It is gorgeous. It's 100% merino. I've seen this listed as both cobweb lace and just plain ordinary lace. It is a fine lace weight. I'm going to see if I can pull some of that out so you can see. It's a fine lace weight. It's a little bit finer than like the Knit Picks is. Knit Picks has 100 gram skeins that go for about 880 yards. This in 100 grams goes about 1,100 to 1,125 yards. So it's quite a bit, there's quite a bit more yards. That doesn't make sense. There are more yards in this. So it is a finer yarn. I knit up a little wee shawl here. The ends aren't blocked in, but this I did with the there were 40 yards of extra on the cone after I was all done skeining all of this up. And so I took, this isn't even the whole thing, this is just some of it, but I took what I had dyed, this is the red, and knit it up just into a simple, top-down triangular shawl. I attempted to remember what feather and fan was via my own brain, and I failed miserably, but whatever. It's just a cute little thing. This will go up in my displays when I do shows right next to the lace yarn so people can see what it knits up at. I wrote it down. I used a US 3 needle on this, and the stockinette portion is 8 stitches and 10 rows per inch, and the whole thing is about 9.5 inches across. So not bad for like 35 yards of lace weight. So that's what I've been doing. Now, I haven't named the colors yet, but we have, and of course only half are reskeined because it takes forever, even with a Crazy Monkey skein winder, to get these things skeined. So this is actually my Luna colorway. It's 2 very pale sort of pastel-y greens. Every colorway has 2 skeins for a total of 2,200 yards. Each skein I'm going to price in the shop for $19.50, or you can get both for $38. So you save like $1 if you buy 2. 2,200 yards. As as far as my research has shown, should be enough for just about any shawl you want to do. There might be a couple that use more, like the Veil of Isis, which is a huge square. That one might use more, and I can always dye up a third skein for you if you need it, but most people should be able to get by with one or two of these. This is it's a lavender and orchid colorway. My camera is super focused today. I'm loving it. Hopefully it won't do that crazy blurry giving up thing that it was doing last week. The red, this is the same one that I knit the shawl out of, so if you buy the red, you'll already see how it knits up. And one that was an oops, because it was supposed to be 2 different shades of blue, but one of the blues dye packets ended up being a green. That was a fun little surprise. So this one is actually variegated. It has blue and green in it. I think this one's really pretty, actually. This one might be my favorite. It's a little washed out, but I just think it's so pretty. So I'll be working on naming those. As soon as I get the names figured out, they will be up in the shop. Like I said, $19.50 a piece or $38 for 2. And I can combine shipping on that, and that's not a problem. They're not... I'd asked on the last week on the podcast and on the blog, and maybe even in the Rag group, I can't remember. What do you want from your lace yarn? Do you want solid colors? Do you want semi-solids? Do you want variegated? What do you, monochromatic? What do you want? And most people said semi-solid. Now, it's kind of a lie because it's not what I did. What I ended up doing, if you want to get really technical, was I did tonal colors, where I didn't just use the strong color value of red and then a lighter color value of the same dye, because that would be either semi-solid or like monochromatic. What I did was tonal, which means like this one isn't just red. This is actually turkey red and scarlet. So they're 2 colors that are right next to each other on the color cards for the dyes that I use. And there's not a big difference between them, but they do add a little bit of depth and dimension to the colors. You can see, I've got these photographed, so you might be able to see them better online. This one is like a cool minty green and then a brighter spring green. They're right next to each other, but they're not technically semi-solid. They are tonal. Same thing with the lavender and orchid. This one is a true variegated because it's a blue and a green. So that one is, but they knit up to look kind of semi-solid. Of course, it's going to be hard for you to see this because it's kind of an airy fabric, but I mean, they look semi-solid to me. But I can't just do one color. That offends me on a dyer's way. I don't know. I'm not making much sense tonight, maybe, but I can't just put one color in and call it good. I have to play around with more than that. So those will be up in the shop very soon. I got my order on Thursday, and that had Tussa silk in it, Corriedale Cross fiber, which is the fiber that I use when I send beginner spindle packages. Corriedale Cross is not maybe a next to skin soft fiber, but it's a good workhorse fiber. It's inexpensive. It has a long staple. It's really awesome. So I got some more of that to dye up. Falkland, which I love. Falkland is very similar to like Polwarth and some others. It's a sheep wool, and it's soft, but it's got a little bit more character than like merino, and it doesn't pill as easy as merino. I really love that. In fact, I've dyed up all of the Falkland that I bought already today. So if that goes in the shop soon, then you'll all get a chance to look at it. Superwash Merino Tencel. Love the look of the fiber, hate working with it. From a dyeing perspective, it's very slippery material and it's really easy to break the braids, and I hate when I do that. So it takes a little bit of extra care, but those are almost done. I've got some more Poetic coming, which is a popular colorway of mine. Thor's Hammer, which Katie of Knitting on the Fly has some. She's the only one. She bought both of the braids I did last time, so I'll have some more, and Tina, I think, is going to get first dibs on that. I got some new sock yarn, and I got a new base for the next limited edition intention for intention yarns. That, I hope to dye that today, too. That's going to be an extremely limited edition intention. because I only have like 8 or 12 skeins of it, but it's going to be gorgeous, and it's going to have all kinds of like extras that go with it. So that'll all be explained here in the next week. Let's see. I've got a to-do list for my dye. Most of these are repeat colorways that I'm out of, colorways that sold really well or that people have requested, have said that they've liked. If you have a colorway that you want me to dye up again, let me know, because I'm happy to do it. The only new colorways I've dyed today are ones that I hate wasting dye. So if I have, like, I had a little bit of the purple left over from Poetic, and I had a little bit of some black from another one, so I combined those on a 2-ounce piece of silk. So I try and reuse the dyes that I didn't use up when I dyed a particular colorway, and then that way they don't go down the drain. So that's where a lot of my new colorways come from. Leftovers. Feels good. Let's see. I went to the New England Textile Arts Network's Spa Knit and Spin event. That's a mouthful. It's a fiber event that's held every year in February down in Freeport, Maine, and they basically take over a couple of hotels, and everybody is sitting around the lobby with spinning wheels and spindles, and they're knitting, and it's awesome, and there are 2 rooms of vendors. And I wanted to vend at it this year, but I didn't know about it in time to get my application in, so hopefully next year I'll be doing it. But I went down this year. I'd never been before, and I wanted to sort of check it out, get the lay of the land, see where it was and how it was set up, you know, sort of get the lay of the land before I did it next year, and I'm so glad I went. I did not realize until yesterday how much I miss my people. Brownwood Junction is not, you know, big on the knitters, and those people who do knit, they're not into the fiber community like I am. I'm largely not understood. When I go outside to photograph fiber, people just kind of stare at me like, what is she doing? That's weird. When I go to fiber events, half of the fun or more is hanging out with the other vendors, talking with them, laughing with them. Josette from Enchanted Knoll Farms, I've spoken with her at a lot of the shows that I did last year. She's a freaking riot. That woman can make me laugh until I can't even breathe. Heather, I'm forgetting her last name, from Serenity Yarn and Fibers. She's out of New Hampshire. She was at the show this weekend. Kathy from Knitting Out Loud Audiobooks is one of the most favorite people ever. She has this way of like looking at you and listening to you like you are the most important person in the entire world. Like, I have nothing important overly to say, but she's just like, wow, yeah. And she just looks right at you and listens, and it's awesome. Totally makes me feel special. So it was good to see Kathy, and her friend Karen from the Fiber Side of Village Books was there too. Karen goes to a lot of Kathy's shows to help out, and she's just a freaking riot. So I had a really good time. And you know, that's one of the reasons that I love the fiber community so much, is because everybody is so happy to see you, and they're so all about getting you to come along with what they're doing. They want to involve you. Not only did Josette from Enchanted Knoll Farms remember me, which totally boggles my mind, because why on God's name would she know me? I have a little bit of fangirl still in me. But Serenity, Heather from Serenity, actually remembered my shop name and that I was next to her at Fiber Frolic way back last June. That's incredible. And she was telling me all about, they were telling me what shows I needed to do. I need to do the Biggie in Massachusetts in November, and you've got to do Spa next year, and, you know, go here and get these things. Serenity has these awesome display racks that are these grid walls that have, you know, like the pegboard with the hooks. It's got basically like that, and her displays look awesome. And she's like, oh yeah, here, I'll give you the name of the place, and here's where you go, and, you know, gave me all that information. Not because, hopefully, I looked like a pathetic loser who needed the help, but because the fiber community is so willing to help each other out. This is why I keep saying that there is room for more of us in this art, in this genre of business, that there's definitely room for growth, and I'm so just thankful that I have made those relationships, in that it's just such a positive place to be. I'm effusing out here, but man, I miss them. Both my husband and I on the way back were like, dude, we need to do a show. We need to find one and do one because we miss it a lot. So, the first show I've got right now is in May, but maybe by some grace we can find another show to do before then. So hopefully soon, because man, that's why I'm dying today, is because I need to get ready for shows because I want to go so bad. Let's see. I went to like I said, to the spa event to sort of look around and network, and I ended up just sort of flapping my gums. I'm definitely feeling the weight of my stash right now. So I really didn't go to buy yarn or fiber, and I really wasn't even tempted. In Shenandoah Farms, I always am, her colors are just gorgeous. I'm always a little bit tempted there, but I can't add any more fiber or yarn to I just can't. So the only two things I needed were sock blockers, and I needed a new bottle of oil for my spinning wheel because I broke the tip off of mine. They didn't have either. They had a lot of yarn and a lot of fiber, and there were some knitting needles and notions and things like that, but there weren't any, hi, Jackson. No, you can't have the shawl. There weren't any sock blockers, and I was kind of surprised by that, so, whatever. Up the road a piece, or, I don't know, maybe 20 miles north, in Bath, rather, is Halcyon Yarns, which is a huge yarn shop in Bath. It's kind of tucked away underneath a bridge, and it's got a kind of a weird parking lot, but if you've ever gotten the Halcyon Yarn catalogs, the store is like walking through the pages of the catalog. It's so awesome. They have a lot of yarn on cones. If you go to my blog, highlandhandmaids.com, you can see the last two pictures are pictures of the shop. Actually, I was canarying photos all day. There's all kinds of photos. I found my sock blockers, these metal ones. The pair was $16. I don't really need a pair, to be completely honest, but what the heck, it's faster to do it that way than to do it any other way. I got dye on me. That's special. And I also got the spinning wheel oil, so while I was there, I remembered that my husband had promised me at Christmas time that I could have $25 worth of fiber, no strings attached. That he said, I don't want to buy you anything without you, telling me that it's okay, but certainly $25 worth of fiber is yours. And I was going to use it to buy true Shetland from the Shetland Islands, but then I was looking, and the shipping is as much as the fiber, and I was like, no, I need instant gratification. So I ended up buying two different types of fiber, and I'll show them to you here. This is Icelandic fleece. Now, my experience with Icelandic is small. I know that Icelandic are dual-coated or primitive sheep. They have a long outer, like a wiry kind of a Wensleydale sort of fiber. And then they have this dense, downy inner fiber, which I'm going to try and pull some out here. It's probably not going to happen. But they've got this beautiful, thick, rich, soft, downy fiber inside. And they're actually processed together. They're not dehaired like camel would be or anything like that, and they're spun together. They make excellent low twist fold singles, which is what I'm going to do with this. Isn't it gorgeous? It's like a chocolatey brown, almost black. It's so pretty. They only had about 2 ounces, a little over 2 ounces of this, so I didn't get really enough to do a whole lot with, but it'll be enough to experience the fiber. My husband and I have both seen Icelandic fleeces that look amazing and we'd love to get, but they have to be specially processed to keep those two types of fiber together. So I haven't ever spun it or touched it or processed it or done anything because it, quite frankly, frightens me. But that's calm top, so it's totally good. The other fiber is this. This is 5 ounces of yak down. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yak? That's disgusting. But actually, yak is super soft. And it comes in this sort of cloud almost. It's a very, very short stapled fiber. So they don't have it pulled into comb top or anything. I'm sorry, the dog is chewing on my husband and he's trying to giggle silently. I'm not really sure what's going on over there. I should put the camera on, but he's not wearing pants. So anyway, this is what yak down fiber looks like. It's soft, it's kind of fuzzy. I'm really looking forward to spinning this up. Or, I was. I really loved it and threw it in my bag and took it out with me as fast as I could. And then I started to play with it in the car. I'm going to try and find you a good example here. And I was playing with it in the car, and I thought that it had a lot of, like, veggie matter, or, I mean, you can see there are some speckles in here. It's not just, see the speckles? I just thought it was VM or something, not a big deal. Well, I started pulling some out and looking at it, and, oh, I'm totally going to show you this. See that little white speck in the fiber? That little white speck is a skin cell. My yak has dandruff. Oh, I almost threw up when I saw it. It's so disgusting. This yak down fiber, apparently, this yak has got skin issues because, holy crap, that's all dandruff in my fiber. My friend Alexia says that according to Judith Mackenzie McCune, it's called scurf, and it's not a good thing, and you're not supposed to buy it if it has it because it doesn't spin out. And you can see the hair goes all the way through it, grows right through the skin cell, dandruff stuff. So I still love the feel of the fiber. It is not going to become something that I wear next to my skin. I don't know yet what it will be. Maybe I'll spin it up and sell it. Who knows at this point? I don't know. That's to be continued, I guess, because, oh my god, that's disgusting. Is he still eating you? Can't you just, like, put him in his kennel or something?
Do you want me to?
Well, no, it's fine, but, I mean, I can hear this little breathless giggle from across the room. Anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I had for you this week. No, I think that's it, actually. The lace weight should be up in the store. Again, I just have to name it, so probably tonight. Today's what? Sunday the 27th. And I don't have any pictures of what I've been dyeing. Sorry, I don't want to show it to you because it's all drippy and gross. But I have my Hamilton Beach sweater dryer going upstairs, so tomorrow that should be dry. And next week, for sure, I will show you everything that I've dyed up till now, at that point. So I guess, guys, until next week, happy spinning and knitting. Thanks for tuning in.